Hello, my friends, and welcome to another pick a card reading. I hope you're all doing really, really well. Sending you lots of love. And today's reading is about what goddess energy are you invoking in your life? So I've chosen 3 goddesses from the Goddesses Among Us deck. And take your time. You can pause the video if you wish. And you've got pile 1 here, which is Fortuna. You've got pile 2, which is Morgan Le Fay. And then you've got pile 3, which is Xenu. Or Xenu. Okay, so pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. Timestamps will be in the description box below, and I'll see you at your reading. Bye. Hi, pile 1. Welcome to your reading. So you chose Fortuna. I love this. Fortuna, the goddess of fortune, fate, and luck. Beautiful. So this is what you're invoking. You're invoking fortune and luck into your life, or right now. And fortune or luck is, well, there's a famous saying that says it's preparedness and opportunity meeting each other. So if you're always prepared and you're always at a high level of opportunity, every time you meet a high level of preparedness, then every time you meet an opportunity, you're going to be hitting quite close to the mark, regardless. So this says to me that you're doing everything you can to bring about this sense of fortune for yourself, pile 1. We've got Scorpio, and then we've also got Clover, release your guilt. Interesting, because this card came out and it reminded me of the pick a card that I did for my daily on the 11th. And and it was the same one. So because I did the readings on the same day, I shuffled, but it still came out in the first pile. So energy is intense, masterful, thoughtful, magnetically charming, but also secretive and possessive. The main thing that I get with Scorpio is it goes in and then it comes out. The main thing I see is that kind of like action with your tail. Don't know if you like the sound effects there. So that's the kind of energy I get and I feel with it. Scorpio goes in, comes out. It gets things done, comes back out. It's like it likes to do things and get things sorted. And you know, it's quite intense because it will come in and then it will come back out. So you're kind of attacking this. I think you're attacking your fortune because or your ability to obtain fortune or to put yourself in the atmosphere of fortune, in the propensity of fortune, in the vicinity of fortune, so that you can truly embrace it for yourself. And I think that this is a way of also releasing the guilt that you have about receiving, because so many of us are feeling like we're not worthy of certain things, and I think it's important to remember that we are worthy. And that's also a massive factor in us being able to receive fortune, for us to allow that we are fortuitous, that we can have that. So beautiful, beautiful message there. And then, yeah, I'll take this one. And then we've got the Lady. Interesting, the Lady embodiment, and it's 9. So we've got 3, 5, 9, and then the Lady embodiment. This is a very feminine, divine feminine card. Anyway, we've got like a lot of divine feminine energy that we are invoking here in this reading. But with the Lady, there's this sense of being able to really turn up the volume on your divine feminine. I also get that with the Scorpio card. It is that beautiful water energy that's deeply psychic, deeply intuitive, connected with that sense of the divine feminine. And 3 also equates to the number of the Empress. So I feel that this is a beautiful, beautiful opportunity for you to just revel in that, revel in that feminine energy of yours. What I'm also getting here is an ability to be able to harmonize all of the elements together in order to create this opportunity for yourself. I'm seeing like these clovers here as well. Clover is a sign of good luck as well. So we've got a lot of omens here that tell me that there is this beautiful growth and opportunity that's coming for you. And I think, you know, this is you. You've made this happen. I think you, like, say, for example, you want to get a new job. So what you've done is you've put things in place to, like, you know, make your CV really good, or to be having a look for jobs which you would really like. Then you're also starting to get your CV into order and the kind of your references in gear, so that you can, when you start applying, you can just kind of like hit the nail on the head and go for it. So there's those aspects as well. It's really interesting. So you're really preparing the ground. I wouldn't be surprised if you're clearing the decks as well. If you're also like looking for something new, you're clearing everything away so that there is only you really there, and to offer the truth of who you are. So I'm getting that sense, pile 1. So let's have a look. What goddess energy are you invoking? What goddess energy are you invoking? Ooh, everything's going all over the place. It's because I'm not looking at my cards. What goddess energy are you invoking? Pile 1. Don't know, something was drawing me to like a different deck. I was thinking, do I want a different deck? But no, I want this one. Interesting. The Empress reversed. Okay, so we've got the Hierophant. We've got the 5 of Swords reversed. We've got the 5 of Pentacles reversed. 2 5s. Sorry about that, my friends. Card dropped on the floor. 4 of Cups. And the 2 of Cups. Interesting. And then we've got another card. Another 2 cards. Interesting. Okay, so we've got the 5 of Swords. The Hierophant. So you've got 3 5s. That's really interesting. 2 4s. And then a 10. Does that fit? Just checking. Wow. Interesting cards. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So I think you're manifesting things for yourself, but there is something that you're missing here. And I think it's possibly this idea that you feel that there, you know, you may have felt that there wasn't opportunities for you. You're trying to like make that for yourself. But there is definitely opportunities to be seen. I think there's partnerships definitely that will come into play to help you. I don't know if you're in a partnership, then you can probably get some contacts from who you're with, but also there is a sense of you knowing your boundaries within that. So it's almost like, I don't know. I'm just getting the sense that even if you see that you meet someone and you think, okay, this could be a really good opportunity, really good contact, because I think this may be in love, because we've got cups and then we've also got pentacles. So what I'm thinking, that this is about your mindset and about you adjusting your mindset in order to welcome in money and love specifically. Particularly with the Hierophant and the Two of Cups here and the Four of Pentacles. So with these three with love and emotions, not necessarily love, even if you're not looking for a relationship. But then also you've got these two, which kind of tell me about something to do with stability and getting yourself stable. And it's interesting, they seem like intrinsically connected, because they seem like it's almost like you really want to gain some kind of stability before you can kind of present yourself in a relationship. But you do want both. And if you don't want a relationship, it's like you want to make sure that you're stable for your partner. You may be starting off like a new business or something like that, because you probably were already in a stable space. And what you're doing is you're utilizing your contacts in some kind of way. But what's really interesting is that this Four of Pentacles character has this long blonde hair. You've also got this it's almost like the same character, but it's almost like the energy is going that way as opposed to that way. So what that means is that there's some kind of thing that needs to be gotten over, like a mindset, and you almost have to work backwards in order to assimilate this luck, to be within the space and the sphere of this opportunity. The Five of Swords here is defeat. You're not accepting defeat, so it's almost like, no, don't accept defeat. I don't think you should accept defeat. I think you should be really purposeful in going forward, not giving up, taking action. It's almost like you're picking yourself back up again. I don't think that you necessarily had a breakup or anything like that, but something kind of marred your confidence, and it caused some sense of defensiveness. Because there's this Ace of Cups, or this one cup that's coming from the universe that's not being accepted, and then you've also got this Five of Pentacles, where it's kind of like thinking that you're in the cold, when you're not really. You're in a really good space. You're in a space which will allow you to kind of grow and develop in a way. But it's almost like you have to provide yourself with the stability by not giving up. And the thing is that, the only time when something fails completely is when you give up. You don't fail unless you give up, unless you're like, I don't want to do that anymore. So I think what this is saying is that, it's almost like you have to go through the pain in order to realize what went wrong previously, and then you can kind of start again. And you also need to find out what's really true to you. What's right for you. There is some kind of partnership here, though, that's very important. Let's see what the clarifying cards have to say. Okay. The Pathfinder, which is the Page of Pentacles reversed. The Eight of Lotuses is clarifying. The Five of Pentacles, the Hierophant, the Five of Pentacles is clarified by the Queen of Pentacles. The Eight of Birds, which is the Eight of Swords. Look at that. 2 8s as well. Another Five of Cups. Where do we have the Five of Cups? No, we had the Five of Pentacles and the Five of Swords. The Tree of Six of Trees, so that's the Six of Pentacles. I only want one, sorry. And then the Six of, wow, the Six of Cups reversed. Okay, so there's this sense of you being hurt by the past. which is absolutely understandable. It would, you know, it totally would stop you from wanting to move forward, because you'd feel so kind of scared or apprehensive. Not even so scared, but you'd feel apprehensive about going forward. There's something here about a lack of commitment. And also not, you know, you may have been with people that just didn't commit. They weren't on your path. They weren't someone who kind of like was dedicated to, you know, what you were doing. This could be in a romantic sense and also in a business sense. You decided to walk away from that and kind of keep your dignity. But there is a sense of you feeling like you're alone. But I think, you know, and that's what that's why there's this Four of Cups here, because I think that there's a distraction going on by you thinking that you're in a position which you're not, you know, you could actually move out of. So I think it's interesting to like look at where is it that you're holding yourself back? Where is it that you are kind of feeling that kind of tension with caution? And you're like, what's going on? Like, actually, I don't feel like I want to move forward. And where are my fears? And you don't need to step out so massively. You can just take something small. We call it a 10% stretch. So you just work within that boundary. You don't have to do that. You know, you don't have to go like massively out of your, you know, out of your comfort zone, because it just won't work. If you move like so far out of your comfort zone, then you'll just end up being really scared. And that's not where you want to be. You want to be somewhere that's a lot, you know, that's going to encourage growth and encourage stretching, rather than you being petrified of what's going to happen. And then the Five of Lotuses reversed, you know, it's interesting because the Five of Cups reversed, I do see that as a relationship, because you're left with two cups. So, and it's interesting how it's, you know, that there's something that's come out of this. So maybe it was a situation that you left and then you ended up coming out with a good relationship that was close. It was a soulmate connection. It was something that was good. And soulmate connections don't necessarily have to be romantic. They can be platonic or something. Or, you know, they're just really close. And you got something good out of that. But now this is about you reestablishing your kind of like your stability. And the way that you can do that is by being really clear about the ground that you're on, and not accepting kind of an imbalance from other people. You may have to accept kind of charity from other people. You may have to accept that kind of thing. And it may be quite frustrating for you, because you kind of want to move beyond that. You want to make sure that you're the one who's standing on your own feet, own 2 feet, rather than you accepting help. So it's okay. I think the main thing here is just taking it easy on yourself. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. You've just got to take it easy. And just know that this is a process, and just continue to work like just day by day, and you'll get stronger and stronger, and you'll get better and better, but it won't happen overnight. Wow, so we've got Tiger Spirit here. Tiger Spirit here is to kind of just be with you and to guard, basically. To guard and also evoke the fierceness within you. To allow yourself to be in a space where you can really accentuate your power. Because the tiger is such a powerful animal. A powerful, powerful animal. And it's fierce, and it's a really beautiful energy. Let me just see what the book has to say about tiger, because it's one of the most recognizable cats in the world. They're a formidable force. It's overcoming adversity through personal power, and you have to understand, you have to build it up. It's not an immediate thing. There's a process to go through it, which is what the Hierophant is there for. And I think that there also may have been people that kind of lured you in with some kind of quick fix scheme, and it didn't quite work out, and now you're trying to ascertain your sense of, you know, your own personal sense and your own value within this situation. So that's really important in you being able to evoke some kind of fortune here, because otherwise, if you don't know that, then how can you believe that you're worthy of receiving it? Wow, I speak positively of others. So I don't know if there is a sense of you thinking that other people have luck and you don't. Just make sure that you're keeping your vibration high. Make sure that you're keeping your thoughts high. So even if you're not saying it to people, if you have any kind of like thing where you're thinking, why can't I have that? Just think about that. That's evil eye. So just be aware of that. And it will bounce back onto you. Make sure that you are just keeping your voice. And it's okay to feel that. I think the main thing to recognize that is, if you think that, then feel the emotion that you're feeling. Be honest with yourself and take care of yourself at that time, because that's about a need that's happening within you that needs to be fulfilled. So yeah, take your time and just be really like honor it, you know. Yeah, I feel a little bit anxious because I wish I had what that person had. A little bit of envy. Okay, what is that? Why is it that you want that? And instead of like trying to talk yourself out of it, because we have this thing where we don't feel that, oh yeah, like you shouldn't feel envious of other people, you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. But we do, and we're human. So I think it's important to recognize that side of ourselves and integrate it. That's the only way that we, instead of pushing it down and avoiding that shadow, how do we recognize that this is a part of ourselves that we can really, you know, okay, yeah, I do feel that way, but it's okay. It's all right. It's not gonna last. Everything changes. Everything is different. Nothing stays the same. So yeah. And the last card. Wow, nothing has gone wrong. Wow, that's really interesting that I use that analogy. I love these cards. Nothing has gone wrong. Everything is happening like it's supposed to. And then you've got this beautiful yin-yang kind of symbol in the middle. It's just so indicative of the fact that this is the path. And you've also got like this, you know, bakwa symbol as well. The hexagrams. It's just kind of, which is the Book of Changes, which comes from the Book of Changes, which is the divination system of the I Ching. So basically, they use the hexagrams to kind of divinate. And what means is that this is very much fortuitous. This is very much keep on doing you, keep on working, keep on doing what you need to do, keep on putting your steps into place, keep on doing the work that you need to do and turning up, and you'll get there. You'll get there for sure. And you'll get there in a way that will be able to be, you know, that will change this Six of Lotuses around. It will be a lot more balanced, you know, and I honestly think like 6 is a big thing here. We've got like, I've got cups. I mean, timing wise, I would say like maybe about 6 months, you'll see like some kind of significant differences here. I think 6 months. So anyway, my friends, I hope you enjoyed that reading. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. And if you want to get in touch for a private reading, please do check out my contact details below. But otherwise, my darlings, you take care. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. And remember that honesty is always key. Bye. Hi, Pal 2. Welcome to your reading. So you chose Morgan Le Fay, which is really interesting. The main thing I get from this is taking back your power. You're kind of invoking that energy of any ill will or any kind of assumptions that have been made about you. You're taking it back. You're like, no, actually, I'm reclaiming my power. And I am not going to let anything else outside of myself control me. It's going to be, I'm fully taking myself and putting myself back in my power. Even though we've got like witchcraft, divination, magic, we've got power here in the corner. And even though we have these elements that kind of, talk about you working with external forces. It's about how you do just that, how you are able to work within those forces. Putting yourself in the best position and the strongest position to be able to, know exactly what to do when. Do you know what I mean? I do also get a sense of experience with Morgan Le Fay. She is said to be the half sister of Arthur, and also someone who helped Arthur. And in some legends, she is also said to be Merlin's lover as well. So there's this idea of you being able to like work with nature, and also to be able to work with enchantment. So if you do tarot reading, or you do witchcraft, or any kind of magic, anything to do with invoking spirits, or to do with invoking, or some kind of like invoking attributes of yourself to work better with the energies that are around you, it's good. It's all good. This is kind of the goddess energy that you're kind of bringing up to the surface. So let's have a look at your other cards. Thanks for bearing with me, my friends. I had to relight my candle that had gone out as I was talking about Morgan Le Fay. She was clearly making her presence known. Okay, so we will start off with Taurus, which is really interesting. Okay, so we've got some strong, like intense energy to really ground here. We've got two astrology cards. I've got the 6th house here as well, which is Virgo. So we've got very strong earth energy here. And then we've also got bitch fire, which is stand up for yourself. So as I said, like at the beginning, this is about you standing your ground. You are not taking any BS from anybody. That's hilarious. You're not taking anything. You're not taking any prisoners, let's say, which is great, because, I think it's about time that you did this. I think it's almost like it's been a long time coming for you to take note of your power and to step into this power pile too. With the Taurian energy as well, I'm getting that you may be, there may be a very beautiful energy that's starting to arise from you because of this sense of self, and just really, I don't know, you may be like doing routines, working out, keeping to plan with things, just being really meticulous in what you're doing and not giving an F about anyone else and just doing you. And all of a sudden things are starting to bloom. They're starting to like take place. They're starting to really kind of show the fruit of the productivity. I'm just getting something really grounded and earthy in this sense, the work, health, life, and duty area of your life. That's the 6th house. So, you're really taking care of yourself. That's what this is about. And it's making you really strong. So that's great. And I think with the other sugar. With the other deck, with the other pile, I took another card that was 3 each. I took this one. Sorry, I couldn't remember. Okay, so we've got the crystal ball. Interesting. Yeah, there's big, like divination things going on here. Pile 2, you are probably my psychics and tarot readers, healers. You work in those realms. So let's have a look what Morgan Le Fay wants to say to you. Pile 2, Magician reversed, interesting. High Priestess reversed, interesting. Ace of Swords reversed. What are you invoking? The Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Pile 2, what are you invoking? Can I ask you? What's going on here? Okay, so what I'm seeing is like I'm seeing that you have been tested massively. You have been ultimately tested by this. It's almost like you've been pushed. You've been pushed to this point where you're like, I do not give a rat's hoo-ha about what's going on here. Because, there's been some energy that I have not appreciated. People have expressed certain levels of energy towards me, and I really am not. I'm not up for it. Now, I've got a feeling that this might be to do with family. You might have been born into a situation, or you might be you might be in a situation where you have not been allowed to express yourself. You've not been allowed to be yourself. You've not been allowed. You may have had to cut off people, which is kind of indicative with the High Priestess reversed. There may have been some instances of where you have just had to walk away so that you can save your sanity. Because we've got everything reversed here. We've got the first, these are the first, 1, 2, and 4. These are these cards. You've got 7. I didn't realize you've got 16 there as well. And then you've got 8 there. So you've got 7, 7, 8. Interesting. Yeah, you're moving on. You're getting away from this. And it's because you haven't been able to speak. You haven't been able to communicate yourself. And the thing, whenever I see one of the aces reversed, particularly with the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Cups, and actually all of them apart from the Ace of Pentacles, I really feel that there's a suppression thing going on. It's almost like a denial, like it's not allowed to come up. Like there hasn't been this opportunity to come up for you to be allowed to express yourself. It's really horrible here because I'm just thinking you've got a King and a Queen of Pentacles. So there's been this double-edged kind of sword here in the respect, well, no pun intended with this Ace of Swords here. But it's almost like you have been kind of attacked from all sides. I feel that, particularly with the Magician reversed. The High Priestess reversed is you as a reaction. And the King of Cups is how you're trying to manage yourself. And it's interesting how it kind of comes there. It's quite beautifully the energy is there. But that High Priestess reversed, I'm definitely seeing that as you just, I say lashing out, but I think it's totally necessary. And you know what, right? When I was doing my own personal kind of healing, I was reading a particular book, and it was mentioning about how when people were in particular dynamics, when they were suppressed, what they did, there was 2 ways of reacting. There was one way where they would either be suppressed and they would just kind of fall in line and kind of disintegrate, and then then it would take years of working, or they would just go, it would be like an explosion. And I think that's what's kind of happened. I think there may have been a bit of an implosion initially, but now you're like, no, F it. I'm just going to do me. I'm just going to get on and I'm going to do me, which is why this Taurian energy is so strong. Taurus is so strong. It's so and I wouldn't be surprised if you got grief for it. You got serious grief for it. And you had to work hard in order to break away from something. And I don't think that this was just parents. I think that this was the whole family. I feel like it's a whole group of people that were just against you, pile 2. That's what I'm seeing here. People that were trying to manipulate, people that were trying to gaslight people. And gaslight, we've got this kind of see what I mean? Yeah. And you've just been nah, and it's almost like you've had to be no, I am not going to allow myself to be a victim of this situation anymore. I'm moving out of it. Wow, pile 2. I'm so sorry you had to go through that. I'm really, really sorry. I'm just going to light some incense. But yeah, that's really sad. But what I also get here is that because you've seen all of this, it kind of gives you the insight to be able to that's why you're so powerful. And that's why this is so strong, You're grounded. You may even have sought counsel from the Fae as well. You may also work with the Fae. Okay, let's clarify the Magician. The Magician this is the devil in this deck. I don't get that very often at all in this deck. So, okay. And then the High Priestess is clarifying. Okay, the Eight of Swords. That makes sense. The Ace of Swords is clarified by the Knight of Wands reversed in this deck, which is the Protector. Then we have Karma, which is Justice. The Queen of Pentacles. Sorry, there we go. That's better. Wow. This is deep. The Two of Pentacles reversed is clarifying the Emperor. I understand that. The King of Cups reversed is clarifying the Phoenix, which is the Hierophant reversed. Wow. And this one was sideways. So this is like, you know, that kind of thing, but I will leave it upright. Okay. So that's the King of Pentacles reversed. So you had the King of Cups here, and then you've also got the Queen. You had the King of Cups here, and then you had the King. Sorry, you had the King of Cups here, and then you have the Mender, which is the Queen of Cups. So you've really had to find your own way. You've really had to find your own way. Okay, we've got the Four of Lotuses at the bottom. You've had to do your own path, because it's been quite hairy, to be honest with you. Okay, so with this Magician reverse, the Devil, it seems like everybody seems to be quite enamored with whoever this Magician character is. There has been something where people have been lured into this space. I don't know, it may be like a patriarch, it may be some kind of head figure, I don't know. It could be to do with the work situation. I am also seeing family. Family is the kind of essence, but it could very much be a work situation. Where it's an exceptionally toxic situation. It could be like a boss that is, you know, it seems like they're that way, but they're not really like that at all. And there may have been this sense of like undermining and demeaning you and your position. So this Eight of Birds was there, but I think there also was a sense of you believing that you were in this position, and there was a sense of you kind of staying there because maybe things seemed like, you know, you felt like you had to stay there. And I've been in a situation like that. I understand that. You know, you think that, you know, you have to stay there because maybe the money's good, or maybe, you know, you don't know if you'll be stable, or you just don't know. So you stay in like a really kind of toxic situation. How do you move out of that? And then you've got the Ace of Swords, which is reversed. So the inability to communicate and speak your mind and be able to hold your truth up is highlighted by the Protector, which is reversed. So there was a lack of being able to feel protected. You weren't able to feel protected, and it's almost like somebody oppressed you completely. We've got a King of Pentacles reversed, and then we've also got a Queen of Pentacles reversed, and then we've got the Emperor. The Emperor reversed embodies all of the kings. But what I'm really getting here, and only take this if this resonates, but I am getting that there is some kind of patterning that comes from caregiver, or some kind of innate patterning that has led to this kind of understanding that this is a patterning that is occurring throughout your life. Maybe it might be. Only take it if it resonates. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But there's this sense of like, because you've got the Emperor reversed, the King of Wands reversed, the King of Pentacles reversed. That's a lot of kings. The King of Stability. I usually see the King of Pentacles as the Devil when it's reversed. And also it is Taurus as well. So it's almost like there's this complete destabilization of being at home and being stable. So for example, it's that idea of where you think that you're okay, and you think that you're all right when you're staying in a place and you're staying somewhere, but then all of a sudden you'll get passive aggressive vibes about staying there, or there'll be certain things that are said that make you feel deeply uncomfortable, and then you're like, is this really worth it? Is it really worth me staying within this place? And I'm just thinking about this idea of the vessel, like it's something that looks very good. It's something that looked very good. You know, from to outsiders, it looks great, but actually underneath the surface, it's been pretty terrible. So this is why you're invoking this goddess energy of Morgan Le Fay, because you're like, right, 1, I need to get into nature. 2, I need to be in control of something that I can be in control of, which is my own power, my own destiny, my own way of being able to kind of manifest things and work with these powers. So that's kind of where you're regaining your power. And what's really interesting with this Queen of Pentacles, it's almost like because you didn't feel this sense of home, you are rebalancing that, and you are starting to evoke this sense of home within yourself. And it's really interesting because what I'm seeing here, don't know if you can see that, but there's a little like kind of person that I thought it was a face, but it's a person there which is in the fetal position. So it's almost saying to me like you are creating home for yourself. And it's really interesting because what I was saying about that whole idea of whether or not how you react. So when you're in this kind of situation, you can either go inwards or you can burst outwards. Like, you know, sometimes it goes all raging and stuff. And when you know, when you hear stories of people going on like mad rampages of stuff, like particularly teenagers or things like that. And I've worked with a lot of young people. So this is just like not only in personal experience, but like also in experiences that I've seen in my previous work. Like there's a reason. There's a reason why they're lashing out, and it's because that they want to be heard in some way, shape or form. So with that, this is this sense of like creating home for yourself. This is very powerful, pile 2. Very powerful because there's deep stuff here. And then you've also got these, so you're rebalancing this sense of justice. This is actually what's supposed to happen. It's karma. You're reestablishing that sense of home within yourself. That's why you're going towards Morgan Le Fay. Then you've also got the Emperor reverse, which is clarified by the Two of Truth. Such imbalance, pile 2. Such imbalance. We haven't got Temperance reverse because I don't think that you were out of balance. It's the situation. There was no stability. Hardly any stability. I feel for you, pile 2. That was intense. But your Morgan Le Fay is really helping you, like really giving you that power. I'm like, yes. So yeah, you are the superhero of your own story, pile 2. And then we have the King of Cups. Now, this may have been a benefactor. It's also, I feel like it's you as well. You having to take a masculine approach to how you manage your emotions so that you can protect yourself. That's what I'm seeing here. Because with all of this drama going on, it's almost like you needed this kind of sense to be like, I need this stability. I need to hold my cup in my hand, and I need to keep it for myself. And you needed to do it in a way that was completely different, you know? You needed to do it in a way that was completely different. Something that was just not of the norm. You needed to create your own path, to walk your own path, so that you could be this phoenix rising. Incredible, pile 2. Incredible. I love it. I love it. I love what you're evoking. And then we've got the King of Pentacles reversed, which is that destabilization. And also, you could have had a parent or a caregiver that was, or somebody who is here that is in that position of authority that was kind of like affecting you. They may have had issues with drugs or something, or some kind of narcotics, where they were ruled by that, and that was the most important thing to them, which is why there was no stability. You've also got the Mender here, which it was sideways. So I'm thinking that there was this, like, you just tried to keep it together. You just trying to keep it together. And there may have been another person as well that was trying to help you in this space, but didn't really have the strength to kind of overcome that. And it was maybe quite confusing to watch this personality, like kind of tackle this. But you understood. And it also could be you as well. So let's move on to your oracle cards. So we've got the spring here. And, you know, I think the main thing I'm seeing here is that there wasn't that energy of the spring there. Like, I don't think that you know that there is no kind of sacredness here in terms of like what you can get from this situation. You've got everything that you've got, and you need to just hightail it out of there, to be fair. So that's what I'm getting, pile 2. And then here, I can be trusted. I think it's reversed. So, okay, this isn't going to apply to all of you. Now, you know, everybody's got their own things that they invoke. Everybody's got their own energies that they work with. I'd just be cautious, pile 2. Just be cautious. Because energies really love to feed off of something which is strong energy. So what do I mean by that? So for example, if you are working with a particular energy, and if you're vulnerable, if you are in a place of need, right? Something may, and if you are working with these energies, something may want to strike up a bargain with you, right? Or has struck up a bargain with you, which is kind of what I saw initially. Okay, that's why I said, what have you invoked, pile 2? Okay, now I'm not saying that that's for all of you, but this is like, it's just interesting that this card's come up. And this is really interesting because this is the holding of the heart, the feather. And if that feather, this is the feather of Mart, if that feather of Mart doesn't weigh, like it's weighed against your heart just before you die, like when you die and you're about to head into the underworld, and if that heart doesn't weigh the same, you stay in the underworld forever and you don't move on to heaven. Now, obviously, we have our own ideals of heaven and whatnot, and hell and whatnot, and all of that's glamorized within this whole spiritual kind of, you know, cowboy land that we roam these days. But what I would say is that, because just watch it. Just watch who can be trusted, who comes to you. Because just like in the 3D, right, we have people that come up to very vulnerable people and they say, oh, like, you know, I'll help you. And that's how people get indoctrinated into gangs. Like, we have it very, very widely within our culture in the UK. Young teenagers whose parents are working like so many hours of the day, and they don't have, like, they come home from school and they don't have anything to do. So what do? They talk with their friends or whatnot, and then if they get in the wrong crowd, then they end up going into like gangs and stuff. They get groomed by gangs, and then all of a sudden they're having to do stuff to kind of like be initiated into gangs and whatnot. It's a very rife culture here in the UK, in London specifically. So, and so many young people pass away as a result. So what I'm saying by that, that's an example in the respect of like what can happen on the spiritual plane. Totally. And if not, like, if not worse, yeah, because at least you can see the other people. With these, you can probably see them, but this, you know, the discernment needs to be there. And because you're like quite strong cyclically, I think it's really important for you to get your spiritual protections up to make sure that you can make sure that you have got your container. If you're interested in any kind of spiritual kind of protection, make sure that you research your spiritual protection. Make sure that your boundaries are really clear, not just in the 3D, but also in the 5D. This will really help, this 6th house energy, for you to make sure that you're healthy, you're well, your mind is well, your thoughts are really well, and everything is kind of clean around you. I would say be bathing quite a lot, use salt a lot. Make sure that your thoughts are clear. Make sure that if you're like sending any kind of like thought forms of like hate towards anyone, that's going to be just as bad. It's going to come back to you. So just be aware of that. I think that's something to think about, because that can be quite, with that Taurian energy, it can be quite stubborn and think that, you know, it's going to be okay, it's going to be fine. Don't have that sense of naivety in this case, because you're dealing with something quite powerful here. And you are powerful, but then, you know, like attracts like. So things that are going to want to feed off of that are going to come to you, whether it's in the 3D or in the 5D. So that's what I'm getting from that. So just be aware, pile 2. That's really, because I do get like a strong, like, I wouldn't, it's just that strong magic sense, you know. And I just, you know, would say that from one magician to another. Okay, and then we've got the soul journey. Wow. Okay, this is something very important for you, pile 2. Very important. It's almost like this is a part of you to work through this process so that you can achieve this for your soul. Let me just double check what the book says about that. It's so beautiful, that card. So the main thing about this soul journey, which I'm getting from this, is that this is part of the path. And what's really interesting is that you've got like these mountains, and I feel like you're here on this part here, and you're about to like walk up this beautiful like path so that you can just concentrate on you rather than having to deal with all of that stuff, which is all these people here. So I feel like you're finally able to get on with what you're supposed to be getting on with. But it's almost like you've had to go through this stuff. And I'm not saying that anybody has to go through anything like that, but it's almost like this has made you who you are. I take that back. You didn't have to go through any of it, but instead of regretting that you went through it, it's almost like, how do I transmute this into something that's amazing? So that I can actually like step into my power. So that's the message from Morgan Le Fay, pile 2. Powerful, powerful message. But what else could I expect? It's Morgan Le Fay. She's fantastic. But if you enjoyed this reading, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. If you'd like a personal reading, do get in touch. My details are down in the description box below. If you get in touch with me directly, it's cheaper than on Etsy. And also I get more of the money. So that might be something to think about, but I'm totally fine with you getting it on Etsy as well. But otherwise, my darlings, I hope you enjoyed that reading. If you liked it, as I said, give it a like. But otherwise, take care, be careful. Take care, harness this strength of your power in a loving way. And remember that honesty is always key. And I'll see you soon. Bye. Hi, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. So, what's really interesting is that you've got Xenu, which is number 30, which is number 3, which is Empress energy. But what I really get from this is about you being, you know, you feeling that you're not from here. There's very much star seed energy, star family. I'm from somewhere different. I'm from somewhere else. And I feel like I need to kind of go beyond that. I do really get like a strong amethyst vibe, even though like we do have a lot of purple here. But amethyst is very much a stone that kind of takes you onto that like that soul star, that kind of like crown chakra, up into those kind of realms where you're connecting with that divine source that is so otherworldly. And I think what's important here is there's a sense of either you're seeking that, or there is a need for you to kind of like recognize that that's where you are and come back to understanding what it is that you need to do here while being a being of this caliber. So let's have a look at your cards. Interesting. So we've got Aquarius, of course. So Aquarius and Pisces would be the 2 cards I would associate with this energy, most definitely. Then we have Tower, unplug and relax for a spell. Interesting. So this is about meditation. I think meditation is very grounding. It's not just about you know, going off to other dimensions. You know, I mean, this is the whole thing with like when you travel on these planes, like you could go to those kind of realms, but there may be something about you just tuning in to like something that grounds you. And then you've also got here, you've got mirror, which is number 11, perception. And then you've also got here, you've got broomstick, which is cleansing. So I wouldn't be surprised if something came along for the ride with you, Pal. Pal 3. I think that there may have been like some kind of instances where that, you know, you've got your imagination going, and you've got like the kind of like knowingness of that you are of something very different, but yeah, I just feel like there's this I just feel like there's this thing of where you're trying to ground yourself, where I think it's going to be very beneficial to ground yourself. And what's so interesting about this is that even though we've got cleansing, can you see that she's going in between this space where the moon and the sun like meet? So it's almost like there may be a tendency to get lost between those spaces. You may float away, you know. I just feel like there's a lot of groundedness that needs to happen. I don't know if you use your phone a lot, Par 3. That might be something as well with that Aquarian energy. And there's something to like kind of, and like literally unplug. If there's something that you can do, if you can do like say some kind of detox in the respect of like dopamine detox, because obviously we scroll a lot, so that might be useful for you. The mirror with perception is also like realizing that you are for greater things. If you feel like you don't belong, you're probably right. There's probably some kind of energy that you're connecting with that reunites you with your, you know, with your soul's true origins. But right now you have to kind of like remember where you are. So how do you function within that? And then this is kind of like giving you the option to do that. You've got 3 here. You've got the 3 that come up twice. You've got, and that's Empress energy. So it's very much about embodying yourself on this planet. That's Venus energy, which is Taurus and Libra energy. And very strong, earthy, grounded. A lot of hip work. If you do any kind of thing that like to help you with hips, so you could do like some kind of dance movement that helps you to kind of be in the hips, that might really help as well. So let's have a look at your tarot and what that wants to say about this goddess that you're invoking. Xenu. Yeah, there's a bit of a dissociative vibe I'm getting from this, Part 3. Which is very Aquarian. And it's interesting because like the main story that comes up with Xenu is about the lovers. Or is about, you know, a love that wasn't allowed to happen. So she became a star. Okay, so we've got the Page of Pentacles. We've got the Chariot reversed, the Moon reversed, 4 of Wands reversed, 7 of Wands reversed, Queen of Swords. Very, very detached here. There's some big dissociative vibes here. Oh, that was interesting. That twisted around. That was the 3 of Cups. It was reversed. Okay, so what I'm getting here. I mean, honestly, take this or leave it. This is, you know, only take what resonates. Don't take the rest. But there is something There's something here to do with only for some of you, because this is a general reading, but there's something to do with some kind of like mental, disassociation is a mental reaction to some kind of traumatic event. Now, we've kind of pop psychologized this word of trauma, and the thing is that anything can be trauma. Like if you hit your head, you suffer trauma on your head, right? So that's what it's called in a medical term, right? So in the respect of here, there seems like there has been some kind of like, there is some stuff going on here. I don't know if it's like personally to you, but it seems like it's around you, and it has caused you to be quite detached from something. And you may end up like, there may be some kind of, you want to get together with people that are like you, and there's this search for that. With the Chariot reversed, it kind of feels to me like there's a bit of a suppression in the ability to kind of go forward with that energy. So that's why the Moon is reversed. The Page of Pentacles is a very young energy. So this might be something that happened when you were younger. And it's almost like, there's this kind of like process. So it's almost like the Page of Pentacles. You were the Page of Pentacles, this kind of like curious being that was like really looking at things in a really beautiful light way. But then there was something, and it's really interesting because these particular pages, they all have masks, all of them. So there may have been something that you were not able to, and interesting, we've got another mask here. So it's something about you not being able to be truly who you think, you don't think that people are going to accept you for who you are. So there's been a sense of you hiding that. And because of that suppression of that energy, there feels like there's been this kind of like, you haven't been allowed to be who you want to really be, and it's made you unhappy. And also maybe a little bit unsure about what to be sure of, what to be afraid of. I see that Seven of Wands a little bit like a little bit too much, a little bit over defensive. It can mean one of two things, but here I'm seeing it as like super over defensive. Not too much, because the Queen of Swords is upright, but it's still the Queen of Swords. You can't get more kind of, and it is cardinal air in my interpretation. So cardinal air is Libra, so there is that fairness, and it also matches with Libra being ruled by Venus as well. But there is dissociation here, for sure, and something about not being truthful to oneself. Maybe accept if you're in these situations, but then because that twisted round when I was picking it up, and it's also Mercury as well, that might not be the case. Because you might think that if people were going to see you as you really were, they may not want to associate with you. So the only time you really feel that is like when you're going into this space and you're on your own. So this goddess energy, you're looking for this. So the main thing is to be grounded in yourself, to understand that, that you're okay with who you are. I think that's the main thing, because the dissociation occurs when you don't feel that you're safe to be in a space. So, for example, when we talk about it in shamanic practice, it's called like soul loss or soul splitting. So basically you send like a part of your soul away somewhere so that it won't get hurt. So I'm seeing something like that here. So maybe this is the whole thing about you contacting Xenu, or you getting in the energy of Xenu, because there's this want to go and either go to that place where you sent that part of yourself, or, you know, how do you integrate both parts? How do you call that part back? How do you get ready to call that part back? Because, you know, you sent it off for a reason, if that's the case. I'm not saying it's for everyone, but there's, as I said, there's big dissociation here. And it's interesting because here you've got, in this reality, particularly with this card, I'm seeing that the here, what she's facing us, is, you know, this is who I am, this is what I'm presenting to the world, but this is who I am. And this is like facing towards her. So it's almost like this is hidden. And it's only seen when she looks in the mirror, not when anybody else sees her. Really interesting. Really, really interesting. So let's have a look at some clarification for these cards. There may be also like narcotics involved here in this Three of Cups. So I don't know, you may be doing like some kind of like either psychedelic drugs or something, or there may be something going on there. To kind of like be in this space where you feel that connection. I mean, that's, I'll be honest with you, like I'm not surprised. Like I'm currently studying you know, everything, like things that are connected with this whole psychedelic revolution that's kind of a renaissance that's occurring right now. And I know that the reason why we're going into this space is because there's a real desperate need to find alternative ways to be able to find healing, to find some sort of connection, because we've moved into a space where we are almost completely disconnected from each other, but yet we are exceptionally connected to each other. Like, for example, people don't call each other anymore, they text. And then there's things about not being able to be comfortable about texting each other. Not being comfortable about talking to each other on the phone. We didn't have that option back in the day. You either spoke to them or you didn't speak to them, which was fine. But now that we've got, like, you know, this kind of 24-hour, like, if they don't respond to my message, if I don't see the 2 blue ticks, or if I don't see that I see that they've read my message and they don't respond, it sends us into this kind of spiral of like thinking, oh my God, are they going to like contact us? Or that kind of pressure. Oh my God, I have to respond to them. Why should I have to do that? You know, there's this kind of pressure. So it's really interesting what this all kind of, you know, we end up still yearning for this sense of connection with each other. So it's not surprising that this sort of thing is happening. Okay, so the Page of Pentacles is clarified by the Page of Cups. So there was a real curiosity in you. I think you just are genuinely super curious about the things that are around you in order to kind of soak up the information. You came like a real child, all ready and waiting to soak up this beautiful energy of learning and of possibility. Okay, slightly that way. 7 of Cups, Chariot reversed. You know where you are. You know what's going on. You know, actually. You do know. I think you're aware of how this is affecting you, which is why you're invoking this goddess. You're like, right, I need to really understand the dynamics of where I want to go, where I believe I'm from, and who I am, and what I'm doing here. Wow, the moon is represented by the... Okay, right. Yeah. So with this moon reversed, and then you've got the Ace of Cups upright, which is beautiful, actually. I'm getting the sense that I think water is very good for you. You've got 3 cups cards here, and the cups here as well. I think water is very, very good. If you go to lakes, rivers, anything where you can connect to the sea, that's going to be really great for you. If you swim, particularly, I think that's going to be really, really good for you. Just get yourself into the water and get yourself really... It grounds you, in fact. Being in the water grounds you really well. And helps you. because it helps you to connect to that love for life. Then you're not floating off into the ether. Lovely. 4. Okay, cool. Let's go this way. Right. 4 of Wands. The 8 of Embers. You sometimes wish that people would be able to go with you. You kind of feel that, you know, there's this kind of like sense that you wish that people would be able to catch up to where you are. But sometimes it's just quite difficult because they just can't. They just don't get it. And that's not because... It's because they're not from where you're from. And I think once you understand that you're from this other place, or you're something completely different, pile 3. My standard pile 3s, I'm telling you. You guys are just from another planet, like seriously. My pile 3s are just like the most amazing. I don't like me, I think I'm pile 1, but like, yeah, like I've always felt myself as more of an indigo than a starseed. But like, this is really interesting. This is really interesting. You guys are just like, you know, you're from another planet for sure. And this is what it is. It's like, you know that you're from another planet, but it's almost like you just have to kind of sustain it. Do you know what I just got reminded of? It's a really old TV series. I don't know if you can see any of it around, but Morecambe Mindy. And when you look at the first, like it's Robin Williams, one of his first things that he did. And when you look at like how he was, that he was this alien from another place, like trying to integrate into society. It's really interesting. Maybe have a look at that if you don't know it already. Then we've got the 7 of Wands, and then we've got soulmates. Wow. Yeah, you made a choice to come here. You made a choice to come here to learn certain lessons. And I think you're starting to understand that about yourself. And I think that's what it is. Like, you're even understanding the beauty through this. I'm seeing this, that even if this is like some kind of like, you know, mental thing, something to do with like mental, like some affliction or something. In certain, I've read quite a few papers about how the attitude of psychiatric illness is viewed in the West. And also I know people as well that have had big spiritual breakdowns, and we call it spiritual emergency in the academic world. But then it's also filtered through to like, you know, more popular culture. Like you've got this idea of spiritual emergency, and this pushes us to a point where we are really like, we're in this space of like complete brilliance, and we actually know exactly what we're doing. So I think that that's what's happening for you. You're going through a process of spiritual awakening here, with that Xenu card. And I think I'm pronouncing that absolutely wrong, because that's a U with 2 dots. So Xenu, I don't know. I'm sorry. Totally like butchered that probably. Okay, so yeah, there's this sense of you making this choice to come here and learn these lessons. It's really beautiful, pile 3. Wow. Okay, so you're meant to meet someone. You're meant to meet someone here, for sure. For sure. If you are not with them already, you're meant to meet them. And that's the reason why you're here to incarnate on this earth to meet this person. Yeah. Beautiful. The Mystic. That's the Queen of Wands. I love this, pile 3. This is gorgeous. Wow. So you are here and destined to meet your soulmate. And this person is, and you're manifesting it. You're actually manifesting it. Beautiful. Beautiful, pile 3. Love it. Okay, so here we go. I'm open to love in various forms. I love that for you, pile 3. See? So beautiful. 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 Okay, and then we've got the Raven. Okay, so the Raven is like it's like kind of the traveler between the worlds. It kind of allows us to get to be able to to go between the different realms. I don't know about the planetary realms, because obviously it's a bird of earth, or of an earthen origin. But in the respect of like, it allows you to, I think it actually gives you a sense of being grounded to this plane a lot better. It also tells you when you're going off into space and it's like, hi, come back. It will keep you grounded. Raven energy will definitely keep you grounded. It will allow you to be with the earth more, for sure. So that's really interesting. But it also is a bird, so it's still allowing you to fly. Okay, and then we've got here Soul Song. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful reading, pile 3. Your star ancestors are calling you. They're calling you to continue with this work, to continue doing this work. If you don't work with sound, I think that might be something also very good for you. Sound and water, there's something very special about that, because this is a calling that you have, that you're actually performing right now. What you're doing right now is that, and you know what's really important is for you to kind of get like really grounded, so that your roots go down to the core of the earth, but then your branches reach up to the sky and reach up to the heavens, because that's where you're from. So I think that's how you really kind of resonate with the sound of your soul song within yourself. And it's truly beautiful, really, really beautiful. You're here to make your soul grow. That's what you're here for. That's what Xenu is saying to you. Beautiful, pile 3. Such an incredible reading. I haven't had such a gorgeous reading like that for a long time. Really enjoyed it. Thank you for allowing me to look into that energy for you. I've really enjoyed channeling the messages of the goddesses to you. I hope you've enjoyed it too. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. If you'd like a personal reading from me, please get in touch with me directly. That's the best, and also slightly cheaper than Etsy as well. And I get more of the money. But otherwise, my darlings, but obviously, you know, it's absolutely up to you, whichever way you want to get in contact. But otherwise, you take care. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Well done for channeling this energy, and keep with it. Keep going. These goddesses have your back. And remember that honesty is always key. And I'll see you in the next reading. Bye.